Hello and welcome to Tarot with Tanya. This is 7 cards for 7 days, and we are looking at the week of Monday, January 20th through Sunday, the 26th in 2025. Hard to believe that year is here already. So thank you so much for stopping by, and welcome if you are new, and welcome back if you've been here before. So I will talk about the astrology this week, then we'll look at the 7 cards, and then we'll end with an oracle card for us. And take whatever resonates for you. It's a general reading for the collective, and then let the rest go, continuing to listen to your own intuition. Let's see what that brings you. All right, so our week begins with the moon in Libra. So that's from Sunday to Monday, maybe into Tuesday, I believe. We are in a kind of relationship harmony place. We love beauty, we love balance, we love diplomacy, art, things like that. Want to keep things in some kind of a balance, or enjoy the process of rebalancing. Then we're going to move through Scorpio, the very deep, psychic, transformative energies. And then we'll go through Sagittarius, the high-minded, the philosophical, connected to law, things like that, higher education. And then we'll end next Sunday with the moon in Capricorn. And remember, whenever the moon is in your sign, that's a good time to do, to go searching, maybe make purchases that are for yourself, for your personal self. All right, when we get to that Capricorn moon, of course, that's very earthy, practical, business-minded, likes to be organized, get things done effectively. All right, so we are now in the time of Aquarius, and the sunset. The sun is there. Of course, all the speculation is that we're in a larger transitional period out of the Kali Yuga into the Golden Age, which is also known as the Age of Aquarius. So we'll see what happens. Right now, of course, we're going through an awful lot of turmoil in the world. But on our Tuesday, the 21st, we're going to have the sun conjunct Pluto, because, of course, Pluto's at that beginning degree of Aquarius now. So this is an intense kind of energy. It's about regeneration. The rigid will be exposed. It'll crumble relationships that are meant to crumble. It's going to break things down. Also, it can lead us into leadership abilities and help us be persuasive. I mean, Pluto is very transformative. It does rule Scorpio. So some things will be exposed. Very interesting too, given, of course, that's the day after the inauguration of, I won't even say that thing. Then on Thursday, on the 23rd, we have Mars sextiling Uranus and Mercury trining Uranus, and Mercury opposing Mars. So that's a pretty big day for astrology. You've got lots of aspects. It's almost a hyperactive kind of energy, and that's that Mars. It's I don't want to say lower mind, but kind of the more ordinary mind, and then Uranus rules the more extraordinary, higher mind. So those two coming together can cause that kind of hyperactivity. They're not touching each other in the sense that they're conjunct, but they're communicating, flowing back and forth. And then when you have Mercury, that's the trine, and then Mars, let me go into that one. That's the Mercury trine Uranus. When you have the Mars sextiling Uranus, That's also an easygoing aspect, but it's going to put energy there because Mars is about our masculinity, about our energy. And it is in Cancer retrograde right now, late in Cancer, and then of course Uranus is late in Taurus, so that's where that's coming from. So you're going to have home issues mixing with earthy issues. So that could be interesting. And then it could disrupt our plans, make things very changeable that day. Anytime you involve Uranus, and especially adding Mercury and Mars, that's very possible. It can also make us really curious, inventive. So we want to try to stay really flexible and enjoy the day, enjoy change. And then on Saturday, the 25th, Venus trines Mars. Now this is a wonderful energy. It's the classic feminine with Venus. Again, not gender determined, but a feminine energy. Trining, getting along very well in a harmonious interaction with Mars, the classic masculine energy. So very good for a date, very good for romance, for relationships, people getting along in general. And, you know, if you're solo, balancing the masculine and feminine within the self. And, you know, hopefully just getting a nice sense of working, you know, with your own energies and enjoying that in a peaceful and perhaps very creative kind of way too. And last but not least, we have Sunday, and that is the day on the 26th when we have Mercury sextile Neptune this time. So Mercury is really active this week. Venus is sextile Uranus. So this is helping our mind and intuition to work well together. Neptune being the intuition, Mercury being that mind, that busy curiosity, that love to travel, go places. And then with the Venus sextiling Uranus, you know, that's again the classic feminine energy, creative, artistic. Uranus can be genius, can be revolutionary, rules Aquarius, be very out there and, you know, rebellious. So art is favored on this kind of a day, and we want to try to keep our communication very kind, which should, you know, be pretty easy with that Neptune and Venus energy coming in that day. All right, that was a lot. The cards. So for this month, I'm going to use the Aquarian Tarot while we're in the time of Aquarius. So you'll be seeing these if you tune in regularly. It's kind of a mixed bag this week. We do have 3 majors, which I appreciate. The 3, the, you know, creativity, the harmony, the abundance of that number is good. And we begin our week with the Ace of Rods. Rods are fire. So it's a fiery beginning energy, initiation. Aces are always a gift as well. So look for some kind of a gift that has to do with instinct. Like, you know, sometimes it can be just the hairs on the back of the neck raising, or just something tells your gut, you know, what to do or what's going on. It's not like you've had a thought process, you just feel it suddenly, you know it suddenly, and you might be inclined to act. So with this Monday energy, again, a lot's going on here in the States, at least. I mean, a lot of stuff around the world, but that's a significant day politically for us. So trust your instincts on that. What do you feel? What's happening with that? And of course, in your personal life, more importantly, you know, I think it's a good time for a new beginning. If this is upsetting to you, you know, this change of the regime into what many perceive as a pretty dark one, then, you know, where's your light? Living well might be your best revenge. Try to keep your peace of mind. Try to stay in self-love and, you know, in kindness to yourself and others. Tuesday, we might be feeling pretty different, and that is the day that we do have Sun conjunct Pluto. So as soon as this card came up, that's what it made me think about. So this, we might see some of that hurt, some of that rigidity, you know, with the Three of Swords. Angelis Arians, in her lovely book on the tarot, the Thoth deck, talks about this as being the kind of original wound with mother, father, child. And you might have had a wonderful childhood. It's not about that. But, you know, we come into the earth plane, there is a wound. There is stuff to work out. And it can be about heartbreak. It can be about self-criticism. It can be looking out into the world and seeing things that pain us for other people. So if it's true, acknowledge it and do your best to let it go. It is an air energy, so it will pass fairly quickly. Remember, it's a thought form, not necessarily a reality. When we get to Wednesday, we get the first of our three majors, and this is the Sun. So I'm looking back at our astrology. We don't have any major aspects that day. As I said, the Sun has moved to Aquarius, so we get this wonderful kind of, you know, Art Deco look here. And it's happiness, it's letting the sun shine on things. And again, with that Pluto, Uranus, I mean, obviously the sun moves fairly fast, a degree a day. That's how we base, you know, the whole cycle. So it won't stick there very long, but they will still be in communication for a while. So look for some kind of deep illumination into what's going on personally, and maybe, you know, in the collective as well. On Thursday, we have a second major, and that illumination may shake some things up. It'll be interesting to see what happens on the larger level here. That is the day that we have Mars sextile Uranus, Mercury trine Uranus, and Mercury opposing Mars. So there's a lot going on. And how is that going to shake up the energy? I had a dream once that I saw a tower. The interesting thing is that it was under the water, but I could breathe there. I'm walking along, and I slowly watched it fall, but I knew it was the best thing that could happen. And it really can be a good thing to have these disruptions and changes, you know, so look for that silver lining if that's something that's going on for you, either personally or collectively. There will be something better in the change eventually. By the time we get to Friday, we get the first of two fours. Now this is a celebratory energy. You see the roses, well, I'm going to call them roses. I think that's what they are. We've got the pink, the purple, the red, this lovely color palette here. You see, I'm going to call it a castle in the distance in those same colors. And, you know, this could be signifying like a marriage celebration, you know, a wedding or some other kind of celebration. Fours are stable, they're connected to the earth, they're connected to the emperor. So, you know, hopefully there's a good reason to have a celebration on your Friday. When we get to Saturday, we get that other four I mentioned, the second one in this week's reading. And now we're switching from the fiery energy of the rods over to the intuitive energy of the cups. And this one is always, there's just a strangeness to this card for me, not in, you know, this particular depiction of it, but just in all the four of cups and all the decks. Of what are we doing? Focusing on what's been past, focusing on what we don't have. You know, you see the hand kind of coming out of the cloud. You know, that goes back to the Rider-Waite series, that deck. And offering something different. I've seen this called boredom. I've seen this called luxury. So there's some kind of emotional pause, and maybe there is a little bit of stagnation for a moment in the feelings, but try to just use it to reflect. Know it is stable and things will be changing. And last but not least, we end with that third major, and this is the Fool. And I'm really glad that we have this on that Sunday. the 26th, because it is a new cycle. So we've got the Sun in Aquarius now, we've got Pluto in Aquarius. There's going to be some big changes coming up this year with these planets moving. And hopefully this starts a new cycle for you. You know, I don't think New Year's Eve or New Year's Day or whatever has to be the day that we make the changes, set the resolutions, whatever. This can be a good energy for that kind of thing, making positive changes for yourself, a bit of a restart, and really trying to, you know, be at peace with where you are and what's happening. All right, so those are the cards for the week, and we'll end here with our Tree Keepers Oracle card. And what came up for us today is the Keeper of Receiving. And I thought, just how perfect is that? Almost looks like perceiving, that little R's, the bottom of the R is hard to see, that little leg, but it is receiving. The key to feeling grounded is to dig deep in your soul's soil, to know your worth. Let the blessings come to you by cultivating receptivity rather than solving, caregiving, rescuing, or fixing. I'm going to read that again. It's so important. Let the blessings come to you by cultivating receptivity rather than by solving, caregiving, rescuing, or fixing, which many light workers, many empaths are very inclined to do, including myself. Forest life depends on reciprocity. The tree keepers held this tenet sacred. Receiving is a large part of that process. A tree doesn't seek out squirrels or birds to shelter. It doesn't uproot itself to follow every weary traveler offering shade, nor does it conjure sun or rain to grow itself. It simply is, allowing reciprocity to occur. Do the work to discover your inherent worthiness. Root down deep into it. This will give you the confidence to know what passes by you is not for you. If the door doesn't open, it's not your door. What is for you will come to you simply by the power of your vibration. It is the rule of the forest and the root of all sovereignty. And there's just one little piece I want to say before we end here. Do the work to discover your inherent worthiness. I don't know what that is for you. That's a tough one. I think it very much can be done. You might ask others. You might draw some cards. You might journal. You might remember things people have said to you that made you feel good, but I really do think it's a good thing to do. Find that worthiness and celebrate yourself. All right, beloveds, thank you so much for being here. I really appreciate it, and I wish you the best week possible. Please like, share, subscribe. It's free, and reach out if I can help you. I can answer questions, do a personal reading for you, whatever it might be in that regard. See you in 7 days.